Good evening, everybody. Good evening. What's happening? Good to see everybody joining in. Thanks for being here. Another night to get together, talk, share, be encouraged, be built up, right? Developing healthy relationships so we can move forward in life and do what it is that we are designed to do. My day is going very well, Orly Rose. Thank you for asking. How was your day? Good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. Um, interestingly enough, I was going to talk about confidence after taking an L, taking a loss, right? So I was going to talk about confidence after taking a loss tonight. And in my mind, I was getting it together, and I was walking up one of the steps outside, and one of the boards had been a little shaky, and uh, it 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 came up, it broke, and so I ended up just falling. I didn't fall like on my face, but I fell. I caught myself. Um, I didn't like fall flat out, but I fell onto the steps. And so I'm gonna try not to sit up for too long now because I think I probably need to rest my stomach after doing that. Um, but it was just a well-timed situation because I was wanted to talk about confidence after an L, taking a loss. What happens when you take that loss in life when something goes not according to plan and you take a loss? How do we deal? How do we deal with that? What do we do with that? Because what we do after the loss matters. What we do after we go through the situation, after we go through the circumstance, it matters. And I think about it as an athlete. I was on a team when I first went to college. My college team, we lost a lot. I played baseball in college, and we lost a lot. I think my freshman year, I think we won maybe 4 or 5 games, which meant we lost 35 or 40 games. So we lost a lot of baseball games and we only won a few. But one of the things that we did after the loss, we still had to go to practice, still had to show up, still needed to go through our routines. We needed to look at the stats and see what happened, right? We had to start analyzing the situation. It wasn't good enough just to take the loss. We needed to learn from it. Right? We needed to learn how to move forward after the loss. See, there are some things when you take a loss, when you go through that situation and something happens and you are on the quote unquote losing side, where you feel like whatever you just went through was a deficit to you, there's something for you to learn, right? There's something for you to learn because in life, right, there's an equal and opposite reaction for every action. Right? You might have heard that said in science class. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If you took a loss, then there is an opportunity for you to have victory. Right? There's another side of that. If your life has experienced setbacks, there is some form of progress that you can have in life as well. So it's never just one sided. Life is not just one sided. And so what we do after the loss is very important. A lot of times after the loss, we're more frustrated, we're angry, right? We're more in tune to our emotions and feelings, and we see them displayed because we took a loss, because we just went through something. And what we need to do as we go through these periods in life of loss, don't ignore what's happening. Listen to it. Listen to what is happening in your life so that you can use the information that you're being given. A few days ago, last week, talked about the importance of listening. And listening is one of those skills that in any relationship is going to enhance the relationship because it means that you're being attentive to the circumstance. It means that you have decided that what is being communicated is important to you. So you lean in and you listen because you're trying to gather information that is going to benefit you, information that you're going to be able to take so that you can now add to this relationship that you're in. We didn't simply want to just lose games for the sake of losing games. No athlete trains, works out, practices and goes through the sacrifice of that because they just want to lose. No, we want to win. We wanted to figure out what was missing. What did we need to do in order to have victory? Now, the program that I was in at that time, it wasn't a program with a lot of financial resources, right? I remember at my freshman year in college, we would take batting practice. We had a new coach coming in that year, and he had determined he was going to change the program. He was going to bring that program up to another standard, a standard that was worthy of being Division I baseball. But prior to that, the university hadn't invested much into the baseball program. And we used to have to take batting practice inside of an old swimming pool. And it was dangerous as crap. It was dangerous to be in that old swimming pool because sometimes the balls would like ricochet. It was a mess, right? It was not a quality situation. But my coach, he said, no, things have got to change. We're going to make this a premier program. We are going to change things around here. All the losing wasn't good enough. He said, okay, we are going to change the program. We're going to have high character people in the program. We are going to develop these facilities. I want you guys to feel like top-notch ball players. Everything from uniforms to the way the locker room was kept to the way we showed up for class, all of that. He looked at everything. He said, no, everything has to be in place. We're not going to just lose and have a loser mentality. No. He said, no, we're going to take every bit of our standards up to another level. That's what happens. When you decide that you're tired of losing, you don't just look at the one place where you lost. You start analyzing everything in your life. You start looking. You start investigating. Okay, what else? What else? What can I do in this aspect of your life? What can I tighten up over here? What can I enhance over here? Where can I be more disciplined over here? Where can I be more faithful over here? What can I do in order to put myself in a situation and a mindset of being victorious? See, we might have lost a lot of games, and we did. We lost a lot of games. But one thing we weren't going to do, we weren't going to lose in the classroom. He told us, no, you will be on time. He made everybody go to study hall, seniors, juniors, everybody. We're all going to do it. We're going to perform well in the classroom because he was creating a mindset. I told you before that he had this thing called Coach's Standard Time, CST, Coach's Standard Time, which meant we were going to be 15 minutes early because he set his clock 15 minutes early. And he said, okay, you have to be on time according to my clock for your classes. See, he was creating a mindset that we would be victorious in life and that we would have victorious habits and that we would set a standard for ourselves where no, just getting by was not acceptable. And that we have that opportunity in every relationship. He wasn't just simply helping us be better ball players. He was helping us to be better men. He was helping us to become better fathers, better husbands. He was helping us to become the best that we could be by instilling different places of having discipline in our lives. And so when you look at your life, when you look at your relationships, when you look at your business or your career, what's going on in your life, your education, and you might say, I'm so tired of losing. Well, if you're really tired of losing, begin investigating. Begin thinking about, all right, what do I need to do for me to become the best person that I can be? All right, when you really get tired of losing, and you'll say, what do I see? My coach, he came from a different program, a different Division I program, and he had played ball. He played Division I ball, and he had done some stuff with the pros. So he had a perspective and a standard in his mind that we needed to be around because we were going to go to a different level. We needed to hear something different. Well, ask yourself, if I'm tired of losing, who am I putting myself around? Who am I positioning myself around so that my mentality and my mindset can change? You can worry, you can think about changing your life and having this great transformation in your life, but transformation is going to happen when you change your mindset. As you begin to think differently, you will behave differently, and then your life will look differently. Just try it anywhere. Go grab a book, start reading a book, any self-help book or developmental book or a business book, a book of any kind that is geared towards helping you grow or develop. Take notes from that book and apply it somewhere in your life. And you, in essence, are being with that author. You're being with that thought leader. And those thoughts, if they're new thoughts, they will help you to take new actions, which will, at a certain point in your time, start producing a new outcome. Don't just feel like you're stuck. We're only limited because we limit our interaction with others that can help us to grow. We keep our world so small, so we're used to seeing the same faces, we're having the same discussions, we're seeing the same neighborhood. We like everything's the same. You cannot change your life and leave everything to the same. One thing, like when I first got started with horses, I didn't know anything about horses. I knew nothing. I mean, I knew they ate hay. I knew they ate grass. I could give them carrots, but I didn't know how to care for them. I didn't know what they required. I didn't know that there were different types of hay. I didn't know that. I had to get around some different people that had some different experiences, that had some different insight, and then I was able to learn. I was able to grow. I didn't know where to go buy hay. It's like, where do you buy hay? Now I know. Now I can go into my phone and I can call my hay guy, my hay farmer. Hey Jake, can I get on delivery this week? See, I can call Jacob. Jacob's going to bring me one type of hay. I know I can go somewhere else. I can get a different type of hay. I started knowing things because I started learning things because I put myself in a different situation. Sometimes after the loss, what we want to do is we want to shut our lives down. We want to shut our lives down. We want to make our lives small. We don't have to do that. After the loss, that doesn't mean you need to limit your life. It doesn't mean you need to make your life small. Start looking for ways to grow after the loss. See, when we shut down after the loss, it stunts our growth. It will limit our lives. So tonight, I just wanted to encourage you. If you feel like you're in a time in your life where you just have been taking a lot of losses, where you've been going through a season or a period of time, years, where you feel like, man, I just feel like I keep losing. I would encourage you not to make your life small. I would encourage you to look for and start seeking after ways to grow your life with new relationships, with new information that's healthy, that will help you grow, that will help you develop. That's what we all need at all times. Because guess what? As long as we keep living, there will be periods of loss. There will be periods of gain. There will be periods of loss. There will be times of abundance. There will be times of lack. These are the seasons of life. They are going to happen. And so even in your times of abundance, that's a perfect time to start preparing and developing and growing, because the season of loss is coming. A season of pain is coming. It is not all joy in life. There are some moments that we suffer. And so don't look at it as being the end all of your life. Right? Don't start when you're going through your season of loss. Don't start cursing your life. And, oh, nothing ever works out good for me. I'm always in this situation. I'll never be this. I'll never be that. Things will never go good. That's cursing your own life. When you start talking about what will never happen and what won't be and what you won't become and what won't develop in your life, no, you're cursing your own life. Don't do that. Don't do that. Be very careful about your words in the season of loss. Don't let that season allow you to begin speaking against the other seasons that are coming. Your season of loss will not last forever. So don't speak against your season of gain. Yeah. You went through the breakup. You went through the divorce. You went through, you got fired. Your business crumbled. Well, don't let it be your end all failure. Like, oh, I'm done for the rest of my life. No, don't. No, that's too much. Too much. Like, okay, I just took an L. I took an L. But see that you throw in the but. I took a loss, but I'm gonna bounce back from this. I'm gonna come back from this. Right? You ever played a video game? You lost. You don't throw away the game. No, you go back in, you play again. Right? So, and get it. In your season of loss, there are going to be feelings that are associated with the loss. It hurts. When I went through my divorce, now was it like 8 years ago, there was pain associated with that for a long time. We're talking years and years and years. I still feel it, but that was a season of loss. That was a time of loss. And you have to, in the time of loss, you have to learn. I had to learn. The reason I'm telling you not to curse your life, because I had to fight with it. I had to fight with not talk. Well, I mean, all right, let me be honest. At one point, I was like, nobody's ever going to want me. I have 3 kids and I'm divorced. Like, like no one's ever going to want me. Right? Like I messed up. Like I was supposed to be married forever. I was never supposed to be divorced. I was supposed to be married forever. Now, no one's ever going to want me. I'll never be able to have the dream. Like I'm a dreamer. I'm a romantic. No one's ever going to want, that. I had to start changing my mentality because no, it doesn't have to be the end of your life. You don't have to start pronouncing death over the rest of your life simply because there was a moment of loss. Yes, it hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's heartbreaking, but it's not the end. It is not the end. And so I just want to encourage you. Yeah, feel what you feel in those moments. Right? Feel what you feel. And just keep moving through it. You know why? Because the season of gain comes. My freshman year in college, we were getting smoked. We lost a lot of games. I think we won 4. Sophomore year wasn't much better. But every year, we kept adding to the program. We were getting sponsors, doing things. People were started buying equipment for us. And so, I've been out of college now, 20, has it been 20 years? Yeah, holy smokes. Like 20 years. Now, that same program, I think 2 years after I left the program, they were winning the conference championships, and now they have, they have a stadium, and the program has changed. They're winning championships now. They're going to the NCAA, college playoff system, and they're in that stuff now. Now they're a program that's producing championships, and not only the baseball program, but the football program is doing well. Like the university is doing well, and so there's been growth. The young men that we were young men at that time, I can look on my my Facebook and social media and all that stuff, and I see my teammates, husbands, fathers, businessmen, right there. A lot of them are doing really well. I see them still interacting. We still keep in touch with our coach. Send a message. Hey, coach, send them messages. But a program has been built. There has been a pride now associated with it. So what started off with us, and we were taking the lumps, we were taking the beatings, we were the bottom of the pile. It's now changed. Scholarship money. Young men are getting scholarships to go play, and they're recruiting on a whole nother level. The program it's legit now. It's a legit program. And so just know, weeping, crying, sorrow, it will last for a period of time. But joy does come. There is another season. There's another season. It hurts. It might your time of hurt, it can last. It might not be a year, it might be 2, it might be 3, it might be 5. It might keep on enduring until you reach out and say, "Hey, I need some help." Right? I told you I was in pain managing an injury for the last 6, 7 years. And then I said, "All right, I need some help. I needed to let someone else touch my life. The doctors, the nurses, all those people, I needed to let them in so that they could perform work, that they could do work. I had to co-partner with them and cooperate with them to say, listen, all right, I'm ready now. I don't want to keep living this way. I need some help. Right? My ego told me I could just keep going, but I need some help. I need surgery. So I'm willing now. I'm willing to stop fighting because I want change. And you have to, in order for it to happen, you just have to get to a place in life, no rush, no judgment, where at a certain point you say, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to start healing. I'm ready. Right. So you start thinking, am I ready? Am I ready to am I ready to trade who I've been handling this pain? Am I ready to trade who I've been handling this injury and become the most healthy, healed, whole person that I'm meant to be? Maybe you're not ready yet. But when you are, you start with your mind, you start changing your mindset, start changing your approach, little things here and there. Before long, your life will be transformed. Stop telling yourself because the one person didn't want you that no one is going to want you. Their loss, that's their loss. Mm-mm. Just because someone didn't call you back for the interview for the job, that's their loss. You keep becoming. Just keep becoming. Have a vision, like we talked about last night. Have a vision and continue to become it. And guess what? If you become the vision that you see, someone's going to be attracted to you because you're going to solve a problem. If you keep developing your business and become the business that you envision yourself being, someone's going to be attracted to the product or the coaching or the service that you provide. Just continue to become your most excellent self, and your excellence is going to attract someone that's in need of your excellence. Sometimes we worry about who didn't want us, and we don't think about who's waiting and needs us. See, if I would have stayed in my cave, if I would have stayed in my broken place, I would have never begun speaking again. I just stopped. If I would have stayed in my cave, let me just tell you, I certainly wasn't going to talk about relationships because mine was messed up. My relationships, the thing that I love talking about the most, love and relationships and romance and leadership in relationships, like the thing that I love the most was the very place in my heart and in my life that took the greatest attack. And after the loss, I was like, I quit. I quit this game. I quit. I'm out. I'm done. I quit. I quit. I'm not talking to anybody. I don't want to help anybody. I was, I was, I was, I was out. I straight up said, I don't want to help anybody. I don't want to help anybody. Just want to go do something, make money. I don't want to help anybody. This is real. This is where I was. So yeah, it happens. You might feel that way. Now, here's the other part of that. I was saying that I didn't want to help anybody. And I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the gym and I'll just be a personal trainer. I don't care. I'll just go to the gym. I can help people exercise. Soon I'm gonna go to the gym and I'll work in the gym and help people exercise. And before long, I was like helping people put their whole life back together, people telling me their stories, and I was serving again. But I went there to hide, and there was someone in the gym. Let me just tell you, this is how you know. This is how you know. This is how you really, really know. I was in the gym and I'm working in the gym as a trainer, just talking to people, serving, helping them with training programs. But I would talk, and someone pulled me aside and she said, "You don't belong here." I was like, "Get out of my business." She's like, "You don't belong here. This is not where you belong." How you gonna call me out? I'm in here trying to hide. I'm in here trying to protect my wounds. He's like, "You don't belong here. This is not where you belong." But to this day, I remember the conversation. I know where I was standing when it happened. So guess what? Your loss. I just want somebody to realize, like, your loss doesn't destroy your gift. Your loss doesn't destroy your potential. And I say this because I know our losses can show up in so many different ways. I have the honor of working with a lot of women. Unfortunately, many of them have been through situations, abuse, and been mishandled by a person and treated a certain kind of way. And so they go through this experience of being treated a kind of way, and their virtue, part of their virtue has been lost. And they think because what they went through, that they're dirty, that they're unworthy of being loved. But this shame, and the shame that just covers them, is just very dark, very heavy. And I've seen those lives transformed, where someone that's been through abuse and been through, some type of physical interaction or physical assault, or they can then start to see that virtue come back. Let me tell you, you have value. Lacey says, "I'm a housekeeper and struggling hiding behind cleaning." Let me tell you, I had a cleaning company. It was called All Quality Cleaning. I said, all quality cleaning. The name says it all. All quality. And I cleaned corporate buildings. And it seems like you're just cleaning. And then I had to develop a different kind of perspective about what I was doing. I said, I don't simply clean. What I do impacts this atmosphere. And I started thinking about it as serving. My mentor told me, he said, listen, he's like, you can become a millionaire dumping trash cans. He's like, you just got to figure out how many trash cans to dump. And as he taught me, and we talked about cleaning, and see, it's never the job. It's always the perspective. He said, look, if we don't clean these bathrooms, if we don't clean these facilities, and someone walks in the next day and it's dirty, their whole mood is off. It'll mess up their whole mood. And he would talk to me. We talk about women. He said, listen, think about it like this. He said, no woman wants to go into a dirty bathroom. No woman wants to go into a dirty bathroom and sit on a dirty toilet seat. And so this is just totally, I was supposed to shut it down, but I'm not. So he said, no woman wants to go to the bathroom and sit on a dirty toilet seat. So what we did, we strategized. Now, he said, so when we would go in, we would clean the bathroom, like do everything that needed to be done. We would fold the toilet paper, put it in a nice little fold so that obviously you look visually, someone sees, oh, the toilet paper has been folded. Someone's paying attention to detail. What we also did, we would leave the toilet seats up after we cleaned them. Here's why. Now, I know that's a cardinal sin. You don't leave the toilet seat up in the women's room. We did though. Here's why. Because when a woman would walk in and she would see the bottom of the toilet seat in the bowl itself being clean with no spots, nothing on it, again, a level of reassurance that it has been cleaned. And then not only that, we made sure we cleaned with a certain kind of smell so that, again, there was an impact on someone to say, this place has been clean, changes the environment. I wasn't just a cleaner, I was an environmental specialist. It's always perspective. Always perspective. How you see yourself is how you're going to carry yourself. If you think that being as a cleaner, for instance, if you think that you're lesser because you're scrubbing toilet bowls, you'll think yourself lesser. But let me help you, everybody. When you decide that you are royalty, everywhere you show up as royalty. I'm a king. If I'm scooping poop out of the horse's stall, I'm still a king. I'm a king scooping up the poop of the king's horse. I'm a king. If I'm cleaning the toilet bowl, I'm a king. And I said this yesterday, wherever I show up, the kingdom shows up because I'm a king. And when you see yourself as royalty, wherever you show up, the kingdom shows up. And so whenever you show up being the representation of the kingdom, you get a chance to say, I hereby decree that I'm going to impact this place in a royal way. All perspective. All perspective. And that's how we can look at loss too. Like kingdom business. Yes, we're going to take some losses, but in this kingdom, do we live in loss? No, we don't live in loss. We don't live in lack. I'm a king. So even though this season of loss is here, I'm a king. I have an expectation for abundance. I'm a king. So when you start to get it, it changes the way you think. And you say, I expect to be healthy. I expect relationships that are thriving. I expect to prosper. I'm a king. I expect to have higher standards. And so it changes you. You move differently. Like I expect to sleep well at night. I expect to have peace of mind. I expect to have clear thoughts. I expect to live above the influence of drugs and alcohol and distractions. And I expect that. King. And so you just change in perspective. When you start to know who you are, changes your perspective. I was like, I can't keep operating with a hole in my body. My intestines at any point can push through and create like some major situation. I have a job to do. I have an assignment to fulfill in this world. I cannot to sit here and nurse an injury because this injury is keeping me from my assignment. I'm a king. Like, understand this. The more you get it, the more you realize every part of my life needs to be whole and complete because I have an assignment. How do you have the perspective without it turning into arrogance? Because I can do nothing of myself. See, who's that? Azariah's mindset. How do you have this perspective without it turning into arrogance? For me, I'm a king subject to a king. Now, this is where my belief system kicks in. See, I believe in God. So when it boils down to it, I believe in God. So my belief in God says, listen, you're a king, you're a servant king. You're a king, but you are there to serve. So here's how there's no arrogance. Like no arrogance ever comes in because the way that any of us, the way that any of us can become great is by serving, which means I need to be humble because at this point I am positioning myself in such a way that I am going low that I could actually lift someone else up. Doesn't mean I'm beaten down. I'm a servant king, which means I think of myself highly and I have an assignment to someone that I see and I think of highly. See, there's no arrogance in serving. I don't need to arrogantly serve. Mm-mm. Because I'm serving a gift that doesn't belong to me. I'm simply serving a gift that was given to me. It's not about me. Nobody cares about me. They want the gift. It's not me. This is like, okay. Like, all right, you bald-headed dude. All right, you good. You all right. But what's the gift? What do you have to deliver? And so when you realize it's about the gift that's within you, mm-mm. Like it's cool. Like this bottle, all right, yeah, it's all right. The bottle is cool, but it's what's inside the bottle that I really want. So I could take what's inside this bottle and put it into a cup, and I'm not really going to be tripping about this bottle. I'm going to then the cup. So always think about it as what you have to give, and it'll keep you humble, especially when you know you're serving someone's life. What about when your people's losses become yours? That's that's real. Sometimes we feel the loss of others, right? Somebody's going through something, we have compassion and empathy for them, and yeah, we feel that. However, if you allow someone's loss, if you take on someone's loss and you own it as your own, and somehow it keeps you from growing, any loss, whether it's a loss in your life or someone else's loss, that's where the situations come in. It is totally normal to grieve loss with someone. But if that loss keeps you from growing, if that loss ends up being the end of your growth, that's an issue. See, someone can go through the loss and you can go through with them. Is that you go through, oh yeah, go through it. Now become your master